What is going on, guys? Predator 458 here, and welcome back to my channel. And welcome back to World of Warships, where today we're going to be taking a look at a viewer replay submitted by Muchas Gracias in the Tier 8 North Carolina. Now, as you can see, there's 2 aircraft carriers, a couple of Tier 9 battleships, some other Tier 8s, fair few destroyers, cruisers, and only 1 destroyer a piece on each team, which is great because I've noticed a lot of matches recently where there's just a shit ton of destroyers, which always sucks when you're playing a battleship because it really limits your options. But anyways, this match is pretty fantastic. It makes me very jealous because I want matches like this. Never seems to go this way for me at the moment, but part of that's my own problem because I can't aim anymore. But we are on the Sea of Fortune map, which is one of the newer maps. Not sure exactly when it was added, but it is certainly one of the newer maps. And he is moving in towards A or B. I think he's going to turn to starboard soon and head towards A, but right now he's heading straight towards this island. Now, this is a pretty fantastic match. I obviously know the results. I've seen the gameplay. So I do hope you guys enjoy it because I really did enjoy watching it. Friendly Fubuki sending its torpedoes blind into the A zone. No target spotted, so I doubt he's going to get anything. And we're starting to see some aircraft, some dive bombers at 15 kilometers or so, down to 14 now. But North Carolina heading straight towards this Fubuki, and he has now been detected. This is from the previous patch. This is from 5.7, I think. So this isn't from 5.8 yet, where the situational awareness, or whatever they call it, is standard on all ships. This is Muchas Gracias has selected, or elected, should I say, to have situational awareness on his battleship, which is something I don't always do, but I always wish I did. Managed to shoot down his first plane, and that is one thing you're going to see. I'm not sure exactly how he spec'd out his North Carolina, but yeah, shot down 5 planes right there. 6 planes. That is going to be a theme of this battle. He is going to absolutely destroy any aircraft that wander within his AA range. So, I don't know, maybe he's got the focus fire, manual control for their AA guns, or just everything. Every captain's skill, every module is dedicated towards increasing his AA effectiveness. North Carolina, 17.2 kilometers. He's going to fire with his front guns as he's backing up away from the island. Now he's also, I imagine he's also backing away now because of that destroyer, in case it sends some torpedoes, so he wants to just get these rocks in the way. Few hits on the North Carolina, minor damage. He's done 7,800 so far. And we got a Megami as well. We're nearly ready to fire. But I think he might be holding his fire and trying to see if he can get some more shots on the enemy North Carolina. Admiral Vlad, let's see, taking the lead. 10 seconds shell travel time. Once again, firing off the front guns. And he's just going to sort of sit here stationary for a little bit and wait to see what happens. These shells are looking good. Maybe a little bit more lead would have done well, but still he got a hit. Not any damage. I think it did bounce, so he's still on 7,800. But don't worry, that number is going to climb, and that number is going to climb fast. So we got some destroyers duking it out. It's the enemy Mahan and Fubuki. There are torpedoes in the water, but I don't think we're going to have to worry about that at all. Mogami is now in range, and we have a nice clear line of sight. He's been in range for a while, I should say, but now we can actually get guns on target and put some shells downrange and see if we can score some hits. And it doesn't look like it. No joy with that salvo. So he's starting to move forward. Looks like he's at quarter speed. Mahan is very nearly dead. Fubuki's done a good job to be in a battle with the Mahan and not take any damage. Mahan is down to 842 hit points, so that guy, yeah, he really doesn't have too long to live, unless he is able to scurry away and hide himself. There's the Megami again. Unfortunately, it's giving us the warning for the shells impacting with the island, so he doesn't take that shot. And there we go, the Mahan has now been destroyed, and the enemy team has lost its only destroyer, while Muchas Gracias' team still has their Fubuki, although he did take some damage in that engagement. So he's now moving ahead at full speed, or all ahead full, still building up to the full speed. And what do we have here? The enemy Lexington at 23 kilometers, and there's the Taiho. So he's got all guns on target, and just trying to take the lead, because this guy does look like he's accelerating, so it's going to be a little bit difficult to judge. And he might be turning as well, and now he is unspotted, so that's a bit unfortunate. But what do we have here? A broadside Armagi. Can we get a shot off at this guy? Looks like he's taking the lead and just trying to get the elevation of his guns right, and he's going to fire off a full salvo. So that guy was what, 15 kilometers? No, a bit more than that. And now we got this North Carolina and Mogami within 10 kilometers on our starboard side. Shots in on the Armagi, only one hit and no damage done. The aircraft carrier pops up briefly once again, and this is a little bit dangerous here. We do have an Iowa at 13.7 kilometers and torpedoes. Who's launched those? Oh, it's the Fubuki. Getting the guns turned around, firing off a full broadside at the Iowa, and slowing down and turning in, because I don't know what this Fubuki was doing. If Muchas Gracias and 2 Citadels, 42,000 damage basically, and taking a significant chunk of hit points off of the tier 9 American battleship on the enemy team. But if he had kept sailing at full speed, those torpedoes would have almost certainly impacted his ship, and yeah, that would have been really, really bad. So firing on the enemy Lexington, all 3 turrets have released their shells, and are we going to get any good damage? Unfortunately, we can't get a shot on the Iowa, and 12,000 damage or so on the enemy aircraft carrier, and that's always good. It's always great when you're a battleship, when you can reach out and touch these guys and give them a bit of payback for all the pain they cause you. So it looks like he still has the Lexington selected. He's going to fire his guns again once they are all reloaded and ready. And these guys may even collide. It almost looks like they're on a collision course. How do those shots do? 2 hits, about another 11,000 damage. And again, he's just shooting down planes. Here come these torpedo planes, and this is a bad place to be. Takes some pretty big damage, but he's in amongst the islands. He doesn't have a whole lot of space to maneuver, but he is getting more plane kills, and takes, what's that, probably 4, because they're all like doubled up. But now he's got this Mogami dead to right at 7 kilometers. Fires off a full salvo, manages to miss a good amount of the torpedoes, but he did take some serious damage there. But I mean, he'd still managed to knock a few of those planes out of the sky, and that's always good. So he's now turning away, and he's obviously going to continue straight. And are these more torpedo planes coming in? I think it might be, because they're closing to 5 kilometers. He started to shoot them down. There's 1, there's 3, there's 5. I mean, what else is this bloody guy shooting at? Because I mean, this number is just incredible. My AA doesn't work this well, so I think I might need to. I wanted to, but again, there's not too many aircraft carriers these days anymore. And he's downed 9 enemy planes. There's 10. Shots coming in from the Armagi. Manages to bounce most of them. The guy missed a lot of them, I think, as well. So minimal damage. But he is down to, near as makes no difference, half health. So unfortunately, as he was coming out of this turn, and where he would have line of sight on the enemy aircraft carrier, it is now unspotted. So we do not have a target we can shoot at. Thankfully, he's not detected at the moment, so there's no cruisers or anything that are keeping him lit up for any battleships or for the aircraft carrier itself. Fubuki is still in front of us, having unsuccessfully not torped us. And Ibuki at 20 kilometers. And there we hear the sound. Oh, I hate that sound in the battleship. I really, really do. Cyclone is coming in, and very soon the visibility will be down to next to nothing. Thankfully, there are no destroyers on the enemy team. Iowa, broadside, 11.5 kilometers. Probably had no idea Muchas Gracias was here until he fired. Shots are looking good. 2 Citadels. good amount of damage. I'm not sure what it was, like 20, 30,000. And you see he's already up to 109,000 damage. And now the rain starts and the cyclone is coming in. Obviously, there's still the aircraft carriers and any cruisers with destroyers, but at least if a cruiser gets within 10 kilometers, you can still deal with it effectively in a battleship. If it's a destroyer, that's going to be a little bit more challenging. Now, the Amagi is fully aware that Muchas Gracias is here, so you can see his guns are trained towards our battleship, and he is turning away to get a bit of an angle on his armor. He's able to fire all of his guns, and here comes some more torpedo planes. And we managed to bounce all of the incoming fire. North Carolina really is very good when you are able to just point your nose straight at the enemy, go bow in. You don't even, it's actually better not to angle at all. Because if you angle a little bit, it is possible for these 16-inch shells to penetrate the cheeks, if you will, of your battleship. It's going to be a difficult shot, and they have to get lucky in order to do so, but it is entirely possible. So, some more damage on the Amagi, 10,000 in total or so, and here comes some more planes. The carriers have really been set on removing this North Carolina from the battle, but that's just given us another 3 plane kills, and they never got anywhere close. Incoming shells from presumably the Amagi. Not sure why he could see us, but it says moderate damage was about 5,000. We've still got 3 heals. You know, things are looking good. I mean, fairly even in terms of numbers. 3 battleships remaining on Muchas Gracias' team, plus a cruiser and a destroyer, whereas the enemy team has 2 battleships and 2 cruisers, and then all of the aircraft carriers are remaining. So things are looking fairly good numbers wise, but in terms of the points, and there you can see the Amagi has launched his plane, because we can see the icon for the plane, but we can't actually see the ship. Fubuki turns in front of us, and we're going to give a little love scrape. But in terms of the cap points, the enemy team has actually just taken the lead. He takes a shot, even though he had the warning of the island in the way. But I think it looked like the 2 front guns managed to sneak over, shoots down another plane, who knows where that was. And he manages to get the kill, so that's his 2nd kill of the match, and we're up to 33 planes shot down. Moving in towards B, because the enemy team has kept hold of B and C, while Muchas Gracias' team only has A, which is why they don't have a huge points lead, and looks like one of the enemy aircraft carriers has just been sunk. So aircraft carrier, battleship, and 2 cruisers is what remains of the enemy team, and Muchas Gracias is now moving into B to capture that for his team. Got half health there or thereabouts, and looks like there's an enemy cruiser in their backfield, in their spawn area, in A6, I think. A6, A7 is where it was last spotted, and it was literally just spotted there. So that's an area spotted again, so at least his carriers have responded and are moving south, and that will hopefully allow them to stay in the battle. But we still have a few ships we need to find, and the cyclone is not going to make things easier. Now, someone on our team, a battleship in G4, has just spotted the enemy battleship. Unfortunately, he is currently still outside of our visual range, but we can see him on the map, and it looks like the enemy battleship just sank the friendly battleship. So we at least know he's there. We can't see him, we can't take any shots at him, but now we got some more planes incoming. So presumably we've focused up the first batch of torpedo bombers. 2 down, 3 down, and they're turning away. Are these guys dropping, or are they trying to get a perfect drop? Looks like they may be going after the Fubuki. Took a few hits, a few planes got shot down, and the enemy carrier player has decided otherwise. And we're still just racking them up. There's another 2. So yeah, I don't know what he did to his AA, but it is pretty fantastic to see. But I don't know, for me, I don't see carriers all that often anymore. So I don't know if I'd do it, but it would be nice to have when you get into a match like this where there are quite a few enemy aircraft carriers. So Iowa behind us, and we're moving in behind the Fubuki. And there we go, we shot down another plane of some description, either a fighter or a catapult fighter from the enemy battleship, or a fighter from the carrier. So these guys, that squadron of fighters is 6.5 kilometers away or so, and I believe we can help out our allied fighters and shoot them down, which, as you can see, there's another 47 planes now shot down. There's 48, and here's the enemy Iowa. Oh, what a beautiful shot. Getting all guns on target. We're not detected yet. It looks like he's going to dodge these torpedoes. We're coming around the island now. We have the perfect shot. The Iowa manages to sink the Fubuki. We're still not detected. We fire off a full salvo. How do these do? 4 citadels, 52,000 damage, and this Iowa went from full health to pretty much full health to 16,000 hit points in the blink of an eye. Still not coming up as detected yet, but secondaries are opening fire, getting a couple of hits, so that's always good. Iowa has decided to turn away and might take a torpedo, but no. Manages to dodge those, firing off another full salvo. But there we go, that's obviously why I didn't actually see that smoke screen originally. So that's why we haven't been detected yet, or at least I would imagine that's why we haven't been detected yet. More torpedo planes coming in, and Iowa's down, focusing them up, presumably, and there's 1, 2, come on, A, don't let us down, you've been doing such a fantastic job. There's 3, and yeah, all that remains on the enemy team is their carrier. So can we find them before the match ends? There's only 3 minutes left, and 102 points. Well, there we go. Now it's 98 points. We have 2 of the 3 capture zones, so there is not a lot of time. In fact, I'm fairly sure that the points counter will tick up all the way to 1,000 before the time runs out. So the enemy carrier was last spotted in J7 heading towards the map border, so he really could be anywhere. He could have headed north down the right-hand flank between those islands. He could have headed our direction. There really is no way to tell, so Muchas Gracias is just trying, and there we go, he's been spotted. You can see him showing up on the minimap. There he is, 16 kilometers, and 42,000 hit points remaining. We've already done 185,000 damage. Can we do more? Shots are on the way. Looks like the dive bombers are also going to try and get in on this action. And how do these do? They're going to drop down. Looking good. 19,000 odd damage. So we're now up to 205,000 damage done. Get Confederate. Get high caliber. We've got another 10 seconds to wait until we can fire again. But we're on 994 points. 998, even if we fire, it's not going to get there in time. There's 1,000 points, and the match is over. And a fantastic result from Muchas Gracias. So, in total, he earned, we'll call that 400,000 credits, 7,500 experience, high caliber and Confederate, as we said. 205,601 damage done, 57 target hits, 54 planes shot down, 2 kills, 8 citadels, defended the base 3 times, assisted in capture twice, 10 secondary hits, and completed the Let's Do This mission. No surprises here, ladies and gentlemen. First place on his team with a base XP of 3,641. Their Shokaku came second with 2,180, and Iowa in third with basically base XP of 2,000. Enemy team had an Iowa, Amagi, and Tirpitz in the top 3 with 1,170, 1,149, and 1,083 respectively. So, Muchas Gracias really did a fantastic job, and yeah, enemy team, I mean, they tried. They didn't do it. I wouldn't say they played stupidly, but they just didn't get the better of Muchas Gracias and his team. So 203,589 damage done by his armor-piercing shells from his main battery, with an additional 2,000 from his secondary high-explosive shells, and that was it. As we said, 54 planes shot down, 1 catapult fighter, 6 fighters, 13 dive bombers, and 34 torpedo bombers. So, Muchas Gracias. thank you so very much for sending in this replay. I really enjoyed it, and it's great to see someone having good luck with their games, and I really hope all of you guys enjoyed it as well. But that is about it for this video. If you enjoyed, please feel free to hit the thumbs up button down below, and consider subscribing for more World of Warships, Armored Warfare, and a few other things that I throw into the mix from time to time. But anyway, that is it from me. Thank you very much for stopping by. This is Predator 458 signing off, and I will see you guys next time.